Netflix is raising its prices? Say what? Just check it out.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Okay, well, the static's gone. The static's gone, right? But we got some Shaft.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to do a show, right? We're
No, just gonna jam to Shaft the whole time.
That's why not?
I'm down.
That's going to be a gift.
Yeah. We're gonna be gift. Really sorry. Should we get some arms?
Old school Isaac Hayes. But there's a theme here, so don't worry, don't worry.
We're gonna bring it around.
Hey guys, welcome back. You are watching Netflix news on AfterBuzz TV. This is episode 2. We debuted episode 1 last week. We're here every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Rick Hong. You can find me on all social media at Rick Hong, RICKHONG, and I'm joined by my cast.
Hello, hello, AfterBuzzers. My name is Ashley Chaney. I'm so glad you were back for episode 2. If you want to talk with me about the show or anything else, find me online at Ashley on Camera.
I'm Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter almost exclusively at Steve Kaufmann. That is Kaufmann. No, I didn't raise my name up one more N. It's always been there.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy Cassandra. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at AmyCassandra_TV. We're back!
Yep. At some point in time, we're going to get to a stage where we get so high in numbers, I'm not going to sit there and say episode 4 or 5. It's going to be like, we're at episode 352. All right, guys, so first up, this is it seemed like it was kind of out of nowhere. It is kind of slid it in there, but Netflix is raising its prices, and I don't know what you guys think of that.
Well, it's funny, we just talked about this last week. I mean, we're all kind of reminiscing about when Netflix was $7.99 back in the old days, which I think we were talking, was it $7.99 or $9.99? And confirmed it was $7.99.
It was $7.99 for a long time, and then they grandfathered certain people in.
Yeah.
They grandfathered certain people in. They let people know for like a good year.
Also, at one
to
point,
not piss people off.
At one point, they cannibalized themselves. They split into 2 separate companies. One was called Flickster.
That's right.
And Netflix was the delivery service, if I'm not mistaken. They kept the Netflix name and they wanted the VOD service to be Flickster. And I feel like that was part and part that they wanted to split the business so if Netflix fails, it can go away and then the VOD service can be packaged and be sold. But I think there was another big part of they didn't want to be beholden to such a low price point for what was obviously a very ambitious VOD service.
And I think it was also to maybe prevent confusion in terms of like, this service is strictly DVDs in the mail, and then this service is this. But people backlash or people got more confused. By it, so it was like, we'll just stick with Netflix.
Some of us made a lot of money when that stock dipped.
Is that you?
And
Steve, is there something you're not telling us?
I actually didn't make any of that money. I know a lot, but I know a lot of people. I pride myself on. I've prided myself a long time instead of the negativity of like, oh man, I knew that and I didn't do it. Where it's like now I'm like, you knew that.
Oh, there you go.
The next time you'll know, and you'll know to act.
Follow your investing instinct.
That was one of those things where I knew investors who were writing Netflix off completely. At that point, the Flickster split, and they like dropped to like probably $30 a share. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then they remerged and just tried to act like it was a gaffe. And then they started doing what Netflix does, and now I think they're trading probably around 110 a share.
Tune in next week. Steve's going to give us all of his investing tips. You heard it here first.
Well, okay, so here's the deal, is for the basic service, most people have paid $9.99. I don't know that many people, unless you're a big household or something that pays for more than that. We were streaming like unless you have like a gazillion screens in your house, and that's why you need to have that service. But most of us, I think, have the basic $9.99 service.
Covers 2 screens for $9.99.
So it's going up $1. It's only going up to $10.99, and what's going on is that they already started for new subscribers. It's already $10.99 for previous subscribers like myself, probably for you, Steve, Amy.
Most of the world.
It won't go up. We're actually going to get a notice from Netflix on October 19th. And then I think after October 30th is when ours go up to $10.99. But it's $1. And I don't know how you guys feel about an extra $1.
I don't feel that bad about the extra $1. It's the extra increase. I pulled it up just for reference. Amazon Prime, which also gives you Amazon Prime.
Like the shipping. Yeah.
Like the shipping and everything.
Yeah.
That's $99 per year, which is way lower. But if you wanted to pay per month, it'll be $10.99 per month. I think they're trying to get, I think they're seeing a lot of people paying $10.99 a month for Amazon Prime and thinking we can get in at that price point.
But let's think about it. Then let's think about the quality of programming.
Right.
From Netflix to Amazon in terms of...
I mean, the quantity would be more apt.
That's actually a much better description, right? Because there's just so much more content on Netflix. Although it does raise the question, something we talked about last week too, which was just sort of forcing the issue of creating more original content across all kinds of platforms.
Yeah, I mean, like
right?
for us, it's like, okay, so yeah, you combine us for, it's $4 extra, but they're buying so much and they're
Right.
producing and they're making so much that hopefully, as you take it as a whole, right, it gives them more buying power.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's fine. It's only $1, and they're killing it. Like, the quality of what they're doing is even better. No offense to Amazon, but it's completely different. But Netflix isn't sending you things, you know, within 2 days
Right.
or
Yeah.
a day. You know, like a mattress or something.
Yet.
Yet.
I mean-
Netflix, can you get on that, please? Thanks.
Question for the panel, though.
Okay.
What number do we think they want to land on? And what number would be completely unacceptable to the average consumer?
Well, the way that I look at it
Those
is...
are two, like,
Yeah.
the current $10.99 plan that we're all talking about. Would 15 be too much? Would 25 be too much?
Well, it depends, because what HBO... All right, so if you want HBO and you're not stealing someone's password, then...
Sharing.
What?
And
Sharing.
yeah, we're sharing. There we go. If you're not sharing somebody's password, and HBO they're very liberal about this, which I appreciate about HBO. But so if you want HBO Now, not HBO Go, but if you want HBO Now, I believe it's $14.99.
Which, okay, now I think HBO is a premium channel, so I think of that as like premium, sort of super premium content. For me personally,
$14.99.
okay, I don't have basic cable anymore. Like, do you guys remember the days when you could get like a base? Well, first of all, it used to be just free on your TV, which
Yeah.
gone are the days. But I don't have basic cable anymore because that's my Netflix subscription. So to me, that's Netflix has become my like end of the day turn on the TV situation. Versus, so my price point to answer your question, Steve, is if I hit 15, that's probably my personal breaking point.
Because that's probably how much Time Warner Cable would charge you to
have
give you
basic
100
channels. Yeah, exactly. What do you guys think, though? Why don't you guys go ahead and drop down below in the comments like what your breaking point is? What would be too much for you for Netflix? I think specifically, yeah.
Well, so then, Steve, what's your breaking point?
My breaking point would probably be definitely 15 to 17, and I
That's a lot.
But I think that's where they want to be. I honestly don't think they're making, like, if you did a pure balance sheet, like, I honestly don't think they're making a whole lot of money at 10 or even 11.
Oh,
Like, I think they keep flexing.
There's
you don't
so
think
many
Netflix
of
is making
us.
money? In my mind, I'm already like counting up like how many people do I know in my life that have Netflix times that by $12, a month, a year. It's a lot of money.
But they're also spending billions
They are.
per
They're
year.
they're spending a lot of money,
so
which we'll get into about what they're spending, but
Yeah.
in a little bit.
But as a business, they just keep flexing themselves based on growth. So actually, how much money are they making on anyone's $12? Today, nothing. But your $12 gives them value to other investors who give them billions of dollars, which they then turn around and create a huge cycle. But like actual pure balance sheet, like sell the farm,
No, and the trick here for them is, well, I'll get to that in a second, but Amy, you go first, then I'll get into the next thing.
Well, see, here's the tricky part. I do have cable because I had it with, I still have it with internet. It's this whole thing, and I'm trying to figure out a way to just ditch the cable because.
What's your service?
Time Warner.
yeah.
Like, do you have like the basic, or do you have like all the special channels,
I don't
or?
have all the special channels, but I honestly I got kind of screwed over, honestly.
By Time Warner?
Yeah.
Is it well? Okay,
Yeah,
so then do you do
because-
Time Warner because of the package? Like, like how if they sell you the package, it's cheaper, like to get the internet, the phone, the cable. Like, why do you have it?
Well, because without the phone, because I have that, I don't have a landline. But yeah, with the internet and that, and I don't know, like moving here. I'm gonna be here for 2 years now in December. I thought like, oh, okay, no, I need this and this. You go somewhere, you think I need to have cable, I need to have internet, blah, blah, and then I just feel like society has changed so much that Netflix and Sling and all these other things are so much more easy to watch and have that now I'm like, okay, well,
there's more variety is being offered to us.
Yeah.
Also,
So, I mean, I feel like I could just, I pay a lot for Time Warner cable. So, to me, heck, 15, 17, I'm like, hey, that's fine. That's so much cheaper than Time Warner. Even if you add Sling, it's just having, like I said, last week, just a bunch of different little packages that all make up your kind of cable.
But then you start adding on, and it becomes like a big spinning ball, right? So if you add on for HBO, that's another 15. Then you're looking at 30 a month. And if you want Showtime, that's another. I have no idea how much Showtime is, but it just becomes like, woo.
I mean,
a la carte
Netflix-
channels becomes a kind of
Yeah.
pricey.
well, also all of these, we're at a place now where all the corporations are finally like getting a foothold in the market. And the reason Netflix existed for so long and had such success, similar to Hulu, was the real answer to why you have Time Warner Cable is you have no other option. Like the actual coax cable that runs into your house, they own a literal physical monopoly on. So like you can get anything that's satellite
Yeah.
based, like anything that's wireless based, and even that's kind of a monopoly. Like DirecTV normally kind of owns that, and if DirecTV or AT&T
can't
have some
have-
type of wireless,
I
like
can't have
most
DirecTV.
buildings don't allow
Yeah.
it to begin with. So there's like a built-in monopoly that people don't like. So Netflix can come along and break that monopoly.
I mean, I'd love to just have Netflix and Sling for Food Network shows. But
But then you would need internet.
yeah.
You have to
No,
turn
but you
it-
can
have
just
to turn
pay for
Time Warner
internet,
Cable
but you
to
don't
get
have
it.
to pay for the cable
Yeah.
aspect of it.
That's what I do.
Yeah, so buy cable, but I tried to cancel it after a year, and they're like, well, we're going to charge you. So that's my
Funny.
situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm almost willing to pay, not too much for Netflix, but I'm willing to push the boundaries just because it is Netflix, and I know that there's so much stuff on there.
Fair enough.
No. Well, I mean, Steve. So something you were going into. You talked about how it's not necessarily about the subscription money, but it's about who, like the investors and who they go to.
It's value. It's
Okay, so then, which leads me into something that Ashley wanted to talk about, and she brought up is
Oh,
the
right.
metrics. The metrics of Netflix and all these like online streaming companies technically do not release the numbers.
That's right.
But there are companies that have some sort of other technology
Of
that
course.
claim that they think they can. And so Ashley brought up something this week that Netflix that you saw.
Yeah, so this company called TubeFilter, which is a great site for sort of online news and stuff, wrote this report that's saying, that claims basically that Narcos is Netflix's most popular show. And I would love to hear, first of all, what you guys think about that. This number is, of course, derived by a third-party service because, as Rick mentioned, these streaming services, Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, they don't release their numbers even to even to the showrunners, the content creators. Like nobody really knows the real numbers. So this third-party company called Parrot developed this this sort of metric to see how well streaming shows are doing. They called it demand expressions, which monitors things like viewers and streams and engagement and stuff like that. And so based on their metric, they're claiming that Narcos is the most popular show on Netflix. What do you guys think?
Yeah, do you guys believe it? I've
Yeah.
seen Narcos. I like the show because there is so much offered. I have not actually, I don't even think I've gotten past season 1 yet, but not because I've lost interest in the show. And I know there is a lot of interest in the show, and I know this third season has taken like a really fresh approach. So do I agree? Do I disagree? I'm not sure because I don't know how if you're an outside party, how you're able to actually track that
Right.
information.
It's a little
I-
scary.
Yeah.
I will assume the information as reported is factual. I'll also say that there are 50 million U.S. subscribers to Netflix, but there are 509 total subscribers.
Okay.
So a show like Narcos would definitely play to outside U.S. subscriber bases. That to me, I would be discovering why that's the one and not an Adam Sandler comedy or not like House of Cards or something you would think. So to find that answer, I would say that there are 50 million non-U.S. subscribers to Netflix.
I see.
And this would be a very approachable show.
Because it has more sort of international appeal. As
Sure,
opposed to, like,
no,
a House
and
of
on
Cards.
that end, I agree with
Yeah.
you, absolutely.
Assuming the numbers are correct, which you have to do to
Right,
just...
because I mean, you're right. I'm thinking domestic as opposed to, because in my mind, the creme de la creme is, because what I always say, I feel like put Netflix on the map is House of Cards. But there are a lot of people in our chat and that are watching us. Thank you, by the way,
Yes, thanks for tuning
that think Orange is the New Black
Yeah.
is actually maybe the one that actually put Netflix on the map. But in terms of the international, I get it. With Narcos, yeah, it's there's English speaking, there's Spanish speaking,
Yep.
so it might actually have a broader audience because of that.
Totally. And it's a subject. So, oh, sorry, Amy, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, have you guys seen it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Here and there. Yeah.
Here and there?
I've
Okay,
actually started one episode, but this is my sort of thing. If I'll start an episode, and if I don't start at the right time of day or with the right amount of
Sure.
energy,
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with the show too is that there are some people that do not like it. I'm a huge fan. Subtitles. If you're not a person that likes to read subtitles, and like you were saying, time
right
of
time of
day,
day, you know?
if you're tired and you don't want to sit there and read subtitles, and you just want to just be able to listen,
Yeah.
then I can see it's a
just wanna
show
watch
that you
the
would
show.
tune out.
Yeah, it's like it's sort of a mindless show. That subject matter right now is super hot right now. American Made, the movie that's out right now with Tom Cruise. It's
Yeah.
all about what's his
Tom Cruise acting again, finally.
Yay, Tom Cruise. Yeah, so just sort of interesting metrics. It's very. I think there's a lot. I'm wondering if and when these streaming services are going to actually release their numbers, and I don't really understand why they don't. But maybe to Steve's point, it has something to do with like business deals and
That there's a
stuff.
certain magic to what they're doing.
Right.
And I mean
also,
that in the nicest way. I don't mean that as like all these terrible people. I mean that in
Yeah.
like there's a certain magic to getting a bank to give you billions of dollars to
Absolutely.
make content that a traditional ABC wouldn't be able to have, because traditional ABC is rooted in traditional media, where Nielsen tells you what,
Right.
where Nielsen tells you what the numbers are, so your
And
advertisers and
the trick
investors already
too
know
is that people more and more are finding out the way that I've read and the way that I believe it is. Even Nielsen's outdated.
Oh, Nielsen's
Their
so
system,
outdated.
Their
Oh,
system
yeah.
is so outdated, and
yeah.
the numbers that they release. There's, companies have gone bankrupt. They've merged in terms of trying to actually get numbers. So it kind of does make sense to just not even try to reveal the numbers because if something's working, they're gonna keep going with it.
Yeah, and we might not even know, but they might. And this, I could be talking straight out of my tush here, for all I'm concerned. But they might not have to comply to the same like FCC regulations as some of the
Not particularly,
big
no.
broadcast companies. So I wonder if that affects why they don't have to report any kind of. I don't know. If you guys do, let me know. I don't know. I don't know about those rules.
All right, let's speaking of traditional and non-traditional, the reason you guys are listening to us dance into Shaft in the beginning is because this week they've also announced that Netflix is going to be doing a Shaft non-traditional model with New Line, and what they're going to do is they're going to put up half the money of the budget for the movie, which is like $30 million, and they're going to get international rights. They are going to get the rights to be able to stream it 2 weeks after it's theatrically released outside of the US, and then later on they will distribute it on their platform. So that's similar to kind of an Amazon Prime approach,
But much quicker, right? 2 weeks after a release. That's
but that's outside the US.
outside the US. Okay.
So, because I think that they did that with, the Oscar movie Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah, Amazon did
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I was at the premiere for The Big Sick many, many, many months ago, and I still don't think it's actually been released yet on the platform for people to watch. They're still doing the theatrical and like the DVD releases and everything, but I don't know how you guys feel about. And more movie theaters are going through the controversy right now of having a small window and then just going straight to a streaming service. I don't know how you guys feel about that approach.
As speaking as a creator, I've never been a fan of how studios release movies, and how I think Kevin Smith once said it. A studio is essentially gambling on the date. Like they're literally playing roulette, but there's 365, and they're just like, that one. And what frustrated him as a filmmaker was that they were gambling $20 million to advertise the movie, and they only gave him $5 million to make the movie. Where it's there are a lot of frustrations there that it's like, oh, well, we can spend 20, so the movie will make 50. And the filmmaker had to struggle to actually make the film for 2.
Yeah.
That I like that places like Netflix allow for art to really seep in. That here's $2 million. We don't care if it makes money this quarter, this fiscal year. We know that it can live on forever and eventually make us money.
Well, and it's so much more accessible for everyone to watch it on a streaming service. I mean, how many times do people go to the movies if they're not, movie junkies? Not that much. So I think it's...
But is it because it's so accessible at home and because movie prices are expensive?
Movie prices are
Yeah.
outrageous. I mean,
Well, both. Yeah.
But that begs the question: how much would one of this like? How much do they charge to stream it? Like right after they release a film? Because you have to buy it, right? You have to buy the film.
Yeah.
Or you can rent it for like a day or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It all differs. It all differs.
It all differs, but the numbers we do have is Netflix is paying 15 or more than 15 of the $30 million budget. So you would assume in their mind that's how much streaming rights to a movie that hasn't even been made are worth. Hypothetically, that number is around 10 million per standard movie.
Right. I mean, us as a consumer, if we're like, oh, do I want to go to the movies or do I want to stream this from home? How much is it going to cost us? The difference in ticket price, meaning to stream a movie off of like Amazon, for example, like Shaft, for example. How much are we looking at paying per ticket versus going to the actual theater? And I think that's a huge factor in how people will consume movies.
And especially because most people, when you go watch a movie, it's not just, okay, I'm going to go, not order anything, not get it, I'm just going to sit. No, like sometimes people make a huge night of it. Oh, okay, let's go get dinner, then let's go to the movies, and that adds up. There's nothing wrong with that, but it adds up after a while.
It sure does. I was just there yesterday for a matinee because I'm like, oh, I'm going to save money and go to a matinee. And that's still super expensive.
11 probably.
I think it was like 15 for a matinee. Yeah.
That's when it's usually like 16 to just go at any time.
Oh, well,
I mean, keep in mind too that this is a current model that they're trying for urban-themed films.
Yes.
So kind of catered towards the Black audience, not as a whole general audience of like they're just picking like random like romance titles or Korean drama or whatever it is. This is kind of what they're starting with in a partnership with New Line. So I guess we'll see how that goes. New releases. Amy, do you have some releases for us this week?
So big breaking news this Friday. It's coming Friday. It's a very special day. Friday the 13th.
Ah!
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Are you guys gonna watch Friday the 13th?
No, I think we all know my thoughts on that.
But it's a special occasion. Okay, but we also have a lot of special things coming to Netflix. So first up is Christina P. Mother Inferior, which will be coming out October 10th. It is a Netflix original. So this is the Canadian comedian Christina Pazitsky debuts her first Netflix special. I saw the trailer. Interesting. It's a comedy special, so definitely worth a watch if you want to laugh. But it is
Instead of be frightened on Friday the 13th.
It's definitely not G at all. Okay, the Skyjackers Tales, also coming out on the 10th. This documentary follows the story of 5 men convicted of a massacre in the Virgin Islands who escaped to Cuba. That's on the 10th. Donnie Darko, out on the 11th.
Yes.
That's a good Friday the 13th.
Cult, nice
I'll watch
cult
that.
movie.
Yeah.
Get some Jake Gyllenhaal in your life again. Okay. Now on the 12th, we've got Fe de etarras. That's a Netflix original film. So in this Netflix original movie, a motley crew of wannabe criminals in Spain gather to execute their first mission. So there's that. On the 13th, we do have a lot of releases, and that's going to be for the rest of them. So the rest of the ones that I talk about are all going to come out on Friday the 13th. Okay. El Especial de Alex Fernández.
Which translates to
Special of Alex Fernández. Okay, so this is a Netflix original, and in this movie, sorry guys, no, I read that wrong.
Well,
I did. Okay, well, so that comes out on the 13th. Okay, then we have Kingdom of Us. It's another Netflix original, and this is about one family grappling with grief in this Netflix original documentary. That's all that we were given. So there's that one. Also, Mindhunter Season 1 is a Netflix original. Comes out again on the 13th. So you get inside the minds of serial killers in David Fincher's new series starring Jonathan Groff. And we at AfterBuzz will be covering that.
We'll be covering it. We'll be covering it here October 22nd, which is a Sunday, and then on that Thursday. So it'll be half the season for the 22nd, the other half the season on the Thursday. We're going to try to get you like a trailer, a preview, try to get some of the panelists in here to talk about it really quick, hopefully like next week, so to remind you that that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
So of course, always watch our after shows here because we talk everything Netflix.
And Charlize Theron produced Mindhunters, and they shot it in Pennsylvania. So good on that.
There we go.
All right.
Now this one sounds really cool, especially for the kids or kids at heart. Super Monsters Season 1. It's a Netflix original. So the semi-famous children of the world's most famous monsters must live up to their parents' expectations, but they're only in kindergarten.
No, that seems that seems
So
appropriate for
cute.
Friday the 13th and for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds so fun. Also, Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Shake and bake,
Yes.
shake and bake.
The Babysitter. I saw the trailer to this. It is terrifying. I want to see it so badly. So a young boy discovers his babysitter is planning to kill him in this horror comedy. So.
Oh, it sounds like Little Evil.
Oh.
Oh, no, I mean in terms of
yeah.
the tone like a horror comedy as opposed to straight
yeah, I
horror.
was gonna say, yeah,
which is
yeah.
great, which is great.
It sounds amazing. And then we've got Voltron, Legendary Defender, Season 4. That comes out on the 13th as well. A young boy discovers his... Oh, sorry. Okay, so that one. And then, lastly, the Meyerowitz Stories.
This is Ben Stiller.
Yes, and Adam Sandler. Like, that's... I like them together. This is a Netflix original film, and it went to the 2017 Cannes Film Festival. So I definitely would like to see that one, because, you know, it sounds interesting.
And definitely counter-programming to a Friday the 13th.
Yes.
I know.
So something maybe you would watch.
More in my genre. I'm like, I've got a kid film I can watch, and I've got a Sandler movie.
Seriously, Super Monsters. Like, I really want to see that one.
Nice. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
That's not too shabby. That's not shabby. All right, so last week we debuted, and we've had our viewers. We have our viewers this week, and hopefully it just keeps building. But we did want to thank the people that did decide to chime into the comments. Please do it. You know, I think we've been pretty interactive with everybody.
Absolutely. We are listening. We are watching. We're definitely responding. There's actually a couple people I wanted to shout out,
Yes,
if I can.
please.
Okay. So a couple of you actually mentioned there was a bit of a kind of heated conversation in our comment thread about Gerald's Game. Have any of the panelists seen Gerald's Game?
I have it in my queue. I'm gonna be watching
Okay.
it soon.
I put it in my
Gerald's
queue.
Game.
I put it in my queue because of this.
Did you? Okay,
I'm
great.
going to put in my queue right now.
You guys know it's unfortunately I have to tap out on that one because it's freaky stuff, and I don't do the freaky stuff because I got enough of that in my life. So, but thank you for the suggestions. I think Marisha was suggested that for us, and then Jay suggested Glitch. Anybody Glitch watchers here?
I don't know what that is.
That sounds already cool, though.
Yeah, it's cool. It's on my list. Thank you, Jay, for sending that in. And then also we had some people from the East Coast, some New Yorkers that said they wanted to join in on AfterBuzz, and that's the best thing about AfterBuzz is that we
we'll have our chat going soon so that you can chat with us
Yeah.
live and everything. So
Yeah. But so Camellia, thank you so much for your suggestion of Dr. Foster. Anybody here for Dr. Foster?
I'm
Dr.
adding all
Foster?
of these.
There's a lot to watch, but we appreciate you, Camellia. And look, you're part of our show all the way from New York. Here you are with us.
Whoa.
And then also somebody named Do the Urkel, and I love your screen name. And I'm hoping it's a dance. I'm hoping it's the voice, but
I
Do the
feel like he didn't
Urkel.
even say anything. You're just like, I just like his screen name.
No,
He's Do the Urkel.
he suggested American Vandal, which is actually
That's very
super
good.
Oh
amazing.
yes, I need to see that.
Yeah, and it's really, really
Guys,
great,
oh
really
my
fun. I
God.
love American Vandal. The trailer alone is amazing. Anytime you can get away with drawing a bunch of, well, they say it in the trailer, but
Penis.
dicks on cars. So, yeah, or did I say
Whoa.
penis? That's what it is. It's everywhere. So, thanks, Do the Urkel. We appreciate you, and American Vandal is certainly worth a watch to everybody else out there.
And I'm going to order. Thank you, Claire Dillard, for watching or commenting. The Third Turd, Zach111,
These are fun
JD, Doug Housley. What's Marley up to? Marisha Schmidt.
Yeah.
Jade, yep. Flakamama.
Wow.
Pamela eBay. Inya, well, Inya Wayne, but it's just Wayne's. It's like an anagram of Wayne, so it's like technically it's just Wayne.
Wayne
Thank you.
backwards.
Yeah. The Mickey M, Charlie Angel, Raina Productions, Laura Nicholson. Hey, our own AfterBuzzer, Mina Wahab. Great. Hey, thanks, Mina. Thanks for watching. And Serenity Q26. And Serenity, I think I've
Serenity.
seen you in other chats talking to me, so thank you so much. But so we've gone through. Let's see. Oh, no, Zias Bilou, Ali Miller.
yeah.
Yeah.
Deborah Battle, and yeah. So we've gone through some changes here at AfterBuzz, and instead of everything kind of just being mashed into one thing, we've kind of broken up into verticals. And so we've got different verticals for comedy, drama, sci-fi, reality television, reality competition, animation, wrestling, sports, red carpets and events, and something like Us, Netflix News, which is featured and original. So if you're looking for things, that's how we've kind of broken things down. If you're confused by it, hit us up in the comments and we will clear it up for you, give you links for all that. Thank you so much for watching. And what do you guys, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, well, hi everyone. I'm Amy Cassandra. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at AmyCassandra_TV. And yeah, let us know what you guys are watching on Netflix. Tweet at us, comment on our Instagram pictures, anything. Welcome to Me. If you guys want to watch something very interesting, I just saw that. Kristen Wiig's in it. Interesting watch. But yeah, definitely talk to us.
Welcome to me.
You guys always can find me almost exclusively on Twitter. That's at Steve Kaufmann. It's Kauf. MANN. I do need to correct something. I said Netflix is trading at 100. They're actually trading at 198.02 as of this moment, and they were trading at 42.16 on July 8th, 2011 when I mentioned it, and they dipped below $10 by the end of 2011. Just correcting myself there. Also, watch The Good Place if you haven't already. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And more stock tips with Steve next week.
Actually, we're going to cut that part out of the segment. Don't worry.
You guys, thank you so much for tuning in and for commenting and having a conversation with us. We do this for and with you, so thank you. As always, please keep the conversation going with me online. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Ashley on Camera. And then if you just search my name, good old Ashley Chaney, you can find me on YouTube and Facebook. And I want to be your friend, so let's do it.
Yeah, guys, and again, just make sure to comment. We're going to get this thing rolling. Like, any suggestions, conversations you want us to have, we're all about it. You guys can find me on all social media at Rick Hong, RICKHONG. We will be here every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check you guys later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.